Hey guys, this is Vanngo. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I have the beautiful Alessia Moraes. She's here with me and we create this beautiful look for you. It is the take on spring, summer, getting ready. And I hope you like it. Give us some love. Give us a thumb up. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow both of us on Instagram as well. Thank you. To start every makeup, I always prep the skin. Alessia have amazing skin, but I always encourage people still have to prep the skin. The skincare brand I'm using today is called Fortuna, and I know this is more a luxury skincare line, but for those who can afford it, you should try it out. It's all organic, natural, and they are great. The serum I'm putting on is for both eyes and face. And again, none of these products on the video are sponsored. I always like to recommend what I really like, and then you guys can decide what you want to use that work great for your face. Next step I'm going to use is also the eye cream from them. Just a little bit. And I know the serum is also for the eye, but I just always want to put a little eye cream as well to really hydrate the eye area. And if they're too much, I can always blot off any extra moisture around the eye or the face. Close your eye. For lips, I'm using this lip balm from Laneige. It's a Korean skincare brand. And this lip balm is really great to use as a day lip balm, but they also have one that I use overnight, and they are a lot hydrating, a lot richer. You can use that one for day or night as well. The last step I'm putting on is some face oil. I usually don't use much face oil when I do makeup. I find them just usually sit on the face and doesn't do much. But this one, I do like it. It's light, it's hydrated, and it does absorb really well into the skin. I know a lot of makeup artists love face oil, but I find like using moisturizer, I think it's absorbed into the skin so much better, and it doesn't sit on top of the face. I usually use face oil at night when I lock in all the moisturizer when I go to bed. On top of my moisturizer, I mean. But I don't use on the makeup. But depend on the oil. And this one of the lighter one you can use. Give a little love on the skin. Give a little massage. Wake the skin up. When I apply a lot of moisturizer or face oil, a lot of people worry that it's gonna slide off the makeup. What I do is I apply a lot, and I either use the foundation sponge or brush, and you see what I'm doing right now. I take off some of the extra moisture before I apply the foundation. If you have really oily T-zone, then maybe you put very little around the T-zone or avoid the area. But for me, I find that when you use skincare products, all these steps, you really help to normalize your skin for sure. For foundation and concealer and powder, I'm using product from Laura Mercier. Alessia's skin is incredible in real life. I don't think she needs to put any foundation at all, but on camera, I'm using a tiny bit of tinted moisturizer. The shade is number 510, and I'm using very little on the face. For the concealer, This is a new concealer they have. One side is concealer, one side is brightener. So you can just use one to conceal and then one for under the eye, any brightening area you want to do. But I'm actually going to use two shades because I'm using the brightening shade of level 4 under the eye area, on the bridge of nose and the forehead. And then I actually use the same level of the foundation, number 5, just to conceal anything I want to do. Maybe mostly around the mouth, this area, just for the color to even out. And that's what I'm gonna do. For the tinted moisturizer, I put a little bit mainly on the T-zone. And I blend it out. Keep in mind that depending on the look that you're doing is how much coverage you want on the face. The look I'm doing is more fresh, summer, spring looking, was really creamy. So I like the texture of the skin showing really well. As you can see, that's all I need to cover on Alicia's skincare. I know she have incredible skin to start, but on yourself, if you have textured skin, maybe give yourself a little exfoliation and masking moisturizer. It will help the texture really well before you do your makeup. That way, the foundation go on a lot smoother. And I love this new kabuki brush from the brand called Cosette. I think it's an indie brand. They do have great eyeshadow and other product as well. You should check it out. Either you use a tiny bit of foundation or a lot, I always recommend you to blend out really, really well. It's better just don't show any demarcation. So even if you use a lot of foundation, but if you blend it out everything, no one knows that you wear a lot of makeup. Especially choosing the right shades, and the blending was the key for applying foundation. As I mentioned earlier, the shade I'm using to conceal is number 5. This shade, you can actually use the brightening as well. If you don't like too much brighter under the eye, you want the same shades, but I use different shades later on for the under the eye, just because I want the skin look a little brightening under the eye. And you can see the shade is pretty much the same, and I just use the concealer brush and blend it out. You can use the fingers, you can use any way you want. After that, I use the same foundation brush. I just blend it out a little more. This way, everything blends in seamlessly. A little bit around the nose as well. I know comment gonna be like, she look flawless, what he's gonna cover. But like I say, makeup is personal. Some people will okay with a little, shadow around here. Some people like to leave the bag under the eyes. Some people, we all like, some people like to cover everything. We all gonna like different things, and it's up to you. My job is I do every step, and then you take it and you use it on yourself, and you say which is work for me. I understand that Alicia is flawless. She doesn't need anything. She just lent me her canvas to play with the makeup. And then you guys can use your own judgment of how much and how little makeup you want to put on yourself. The great thing about Laura Mercier foundation concealer, they're shading exactly the same name. Like for example, like I use number 5 in foundation and I just go on number 5 concealer. It's exactly the same shade. I don't have to go and find the shade, like the name or anything like that. This way, it's easy for you to find the shades for sure. For under the eye, you can use the brightening side on the number 5, but I decided to use number 4 brightening. As I mentioned earlier, I like the under eye a little brighter, so that's why I'm using one shade lighter. And this is a fantastic concealer on the go for you. It's so easy to use. You see what I'm just do is that you could draw on where you want to do. And this one, I put a little bit on the bridge of the nose. And same concealer brush, I blend it out. The way I do is I use a concealer brush and I blend out the under eye, and then I use the foundation sponge or foundation brush. I soften the edges. To set the face, I'm using the shade Honey, also from Laura Mercier, for under the eye area. And all the high point that I used earlier with the number 4 concealer. And then the shade Medium Deep for everywhere else on the face. You don't have to overly set for this makeup. You take out some of the shine, but the skin, I don't mind for the look I'm doing. We can leave them a little dewy. I think it's beautiful like that. For the powder, you don't have to use 2 shades like I use. I thought maybe because I use a lighter concealer under the eye in the area, and I want to still maintain that brightness under the eye, that's why I use the shade Honey. You can use just 1 shade, the medium deep, for the whole face. You know, you don't have to use the 2 shades like I use. Everything I do, you watch it and take notes and do what works for you. You don't have to do exactly every step because it doesn't mean it works for everyone. Some people might go like heavy baking. If you like that, you can do as well. Some just want same powder, then you can do that as well. Alexia's face is incredible with bone structure, everything already. I'm not gonna do any contour, but I'm using some bronzer from Tarte Cosmetic. It's called Hotel Iris. And then just to warm up on the outer part of the face and a little bit on the cheekbones. This way, it will define the face shape even more without any kind of like heavy contour looking. I'm also gonna use some bronzer on the side of the nose. This is just same idea as contouring, but really softly shape the nose. Alessia eyebrow is incredible. Technically, you can just leave them the way it is, but I'm just gonna shape them a little bit, just make them a bit more defined, just for the look I'm doing. I'm using a brow wiz, shade dark brown, just darken the outer part of the eyebrow. You see what I'm doing right now? A little bit only. This way. She has very full eyebrow, but I thought maybe from darken the edges on the outer part of the eyebrow, it will make the eyebrow more defined. And then I'm using also dark brown with the brow pens. I create some extra individual hair. And that is the shape. You see the difference? I mean, I didn't really change anything much. Just from using a little product, you can see the difference. One is still full, but more defined the shape. One is full, but not as defined. So it's your choice. If you like to keep the way it is natural, if you have brow like this, you can. But if you want more defined, you don't have to tweeze the eyebrow at all. you just use the pencil and the marker, you create a different shape of eyebrow. And that's the shape of the eyebrow. Like I said earlier, you can keep exactly the same the eyebrow if you have it full like that. If you have more time, spend a little bit like what I did to create a shape without tweezing your eyebrow in anything at all. You just use a little bit marker and the pencil, you can create nice and defined shape eyebrow. For the eye, I'm going to use 2 different pencils, one brown and one black. And the eyeshadow, the cream shadow from Retour de Fil. I could say the name wrong, don't mind me at all. But what I'm gonna do is basically I use the brown pencil on the lower lash line, in the waterline, and then the black pencil I'm used on the upper lash line and the upper inner waterline. And I smudge it out. To start, I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna use the brown pencil, and this is how I'm going to do. I do on the inner waterline with the brown one, and then I do a little more along the lash line. You see what I'm doing right now? And I blend it out. It's very, very simple to do. It sounds complicated, but if you actually do yourself, what the look I'm doing, pretty straightforward. And what I'm gonna do is also a little further out in the corner. Again, I blend it out and upward. You can use just a black pencil, you can use just a brown pencil. If on lighter skin color, I would use just a brown pencil, but on Alessia, she has more deeper skin tone. That's why I use the black one, just get more intensity. You see how I'm doing right now. Next, I'm using the black pencil, and look down for me, close your eye, and you see I do along the upper lash line. I'm using a different blending brush, and I blend it out for the upper lash line. You see what I'm doing? And because you use 2 different colors, I would wait to do the upper inner waterline after you do what I'm doing right now, because it takes a little while for the pencil to set, so it's better just do what I'm doing right now. You do the outside first, and then you do the inside. You see what I'm doing right now? Just like that. Go back with the first blending brush. Look down for me, and you brush it up again. Next step, look down for me. You do the upper water line. Let's see. And then you see what I'm doing right now? I just pulled it out a little more. And then I'm not gonna use the darker smudgy brush. I'm using the lighter one, and I just blend the bottom up. Remember, use the lighter blending brush. So that way it doesn't get the dark color going down. Alone, this gives you beautiful eyes already. You don't need to use eyeshadow or nothing else. You can use mascara and done to go. But I thought I'm gonna put some cream shadow on top. It's gonna give you more sultry look. I'm gonna do exactly the same on the other side before I do the eyeshadow. So that guy, I think this with just a little mascara, I think is perfect. But what I'm gonna do something else is up to you to decide you're gonna go to that next step or not. But I think this is just beautiful on the eye shape. Next, I'm using the eyeshadow. This is more a bronzy shadow shade. I'm using 2 different brushes. You can use one. I just use the smaller one. for the lower lash line. You can use the fingers if you want more pigment deposit. And then the bigger brush, close your eye, just do on the upper crease area. You see what I'm doing right now? It just makes the eye look a lot more pop. Like I said earlier, you don't need to use the eyeshadow. The eye you create with the pencil alone, it gives you ton of definition and drama for the eye already. You don't need to do the extra step, but I thought a little more of the creamy to give you that dewy spring summer look. And that's the eye. I'm doing the same on the other side. And then you can use a clean brush, just soften the edges with no product. Just soften like this. You can use the same brush earlier, but I thought maybe a clean one is easier for you to blend the edges. You see what I'm doing right now? That's all I need to do, just to soften the edges. Look up for me. And the same thing, I soften the edges on the lower part as well. And you see what I'm doing? Just outward and upward. Everything the same. Everything in your head, you have to think is that that's the direction I'm doing with the eyeshadow. So you blend everything outward and upward. For mascara, I'm using Lash Idol from Lancome. This is more a volume lengthening separated lashes. Alessia lashes is only curl naturally and I love it like that. I don't want to curl anymore. And also this mascara, you don't need to curl the lashes. It's going to give you that natural lift as well. Look down for me. And I'm using 2 coats on the upper lashes and 1 on the lower lashes. So that's the eye look. I'm going to set the eyebrow as well. And then we finish the eye area just to brush the brows up and hold in place. For blush, I'm going to use this blush from Jamie Makeup. It's a new brand from a makeup artist from Los Angeles. Her name is Jamie Greenberg. She's fantastic. She does a lot of celebrity as well. And it is the blush and highlight hybrid, but I'm just gonna use just for the blush. And then I might add a little more lighter highlight on top. But you can use this as a highlight as well. And this shade I think is beautiful on deeper skin. And you can use the brush or finger. You can see what I'm doing right now. A little bit, and I blend it out. And this color is beautiful. I think this texture is really nice. You can use with just your finger, your brush. I like to apply cream blush by finger usually. I know a lot of people don't like that idea, but for me, I feel that it's always blend to the skin so much better with the fingers. And you see what I'm doing right now. So my hand looks really dry just because we hand sanitize non-stop lately, so it's everyone look crazy with the finger in the hand. I decide to use the blush a little high up on the temple as well. I think it's just really beautiful on Alessia. And this naturally give you a highlight already. You don't need to add another highlight on, but I'm just gonna add a little brighter color for the highlight. I'm going to use this color from an indie brand. Honestly, I never heard it before, but they sent it to me on the PR package and I thought this color is amazing. It's like a radiance skin cream, and I think it's a perfect color you use on a deeper skin tone for a highlight. And that's what I'm gonna use right now on Alessia. You can see that it's just really beautiful, creamy, peachy tone, and I think it's great on her skin tone. And then I do a little bit on the bridge of the nose, very little, not too much. Cupid bow. What I would do, also use the foundation brush to you earlier and go back and check all the demarcation from the blush. You can use this to blend it out as well. If sometimes you go the blush a little too low because you apply the fingers, you can use this to take out anything that you think is a little too low. And you think, well, I'm blending it out right now. For lips, I'm going to use 3 products. 2 products from Jamie. Her name is Jamie Genevieve. She is a makeup influencer that I actually met on a trip in Vietnam. She just came out with her own brand. And this is the lipstick shade I'm gonna use, and the lip liner is very similar shades. And then I'm gonna top with a lip gloss from Fenty Beauty. To start, I'm going to line the lip first. I follow exactly the natural lip shape of Alessia on the lower lips. And then you can see I just do a little more on the outer part. And then for the upper part, I just cheat a tiny bit again. And I filled in the lips a little bit with the pencil as well. This lipstick is more like a creamy matte texture. It's quite beautiful. Big smile. You can stop here. You don't have to put lip gloss on, but I think we want a little more drama than this, so we can add a little lip gloss on top. To complete the look, I'm using a little bit of setting spray from Urban Decay. That's the final look, guys. I hope you like it. Alessia just told me that's a lot of makeup she ever wear in a while. Like I say, use your own judgment how much you want. You don't have to use this full-on lipstick, lip liner, lip gloss. You just use just a lip gloss alone. It's nice as well. Even on the eye, you don't have to use the shadow like I could use. Everyone's gonna have a different take on this makeup look. I know she's gorgeous, she doesn't need anything else, but I just create a look so you can be inspired and play with makeup. I hope you enjoy it. Give us a thumb up, subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to follow both Alessia and I on Instagram as well. Thank you.